Mr. Mark Calaby. We got a scripture reading from the New Testament today, according to Mark, not this Mark. Ati na lumabuto lang lebu del na udara buturang di Sawyake maramana tokenawa. Looking around today and hearing the CEO of Fiji Airport Limited, I'm reminded of many instances or incidents in history. When we sang the national anthem this morning, when it was sung the first time, I and the rest of the Fiji national rugby team did not know that it was our national anthem. I was sitting next to the other prop in the team, Ratu Joe Sobau, the late father of the Manbrama Taukenoa. We were playing for Fiji in the Fiji tour of the United Kingdom and Wales in 1970. While we were there, Fiji became independent on the 10th of October 1970. And on that day, the Fiji team played against the British Combined Services team. And the referee was a retired Air Vice Marshal Lamb, L-A-M-B. You can Google him, or his name. He was the pilot that was sent by the British to extract a spy from behind the lines in then divided Germany, in East Germany, spying for the West. Came back and refereed for a few years, retired from the Air Force. I do not know whether he's still alive or not. But that's a small part of history. I remember the late Tokenawa, Ratu Joseph. Later on in life, we used to use this camp when Ratu Asir was Turaraleu, was Asir Nandi, and he used to farewell our departing troops going to the Middle East on these grounds. That was before 1987, when we applied the Compulsory Acquisition of Land Act to acquire this land for the protection and training, the protection of the Nandi Airport. Some of you may remember that there was a hijacking attempt in Nandi, and it took us a long time to position the counter unit. It had to deploy from Lautoka to Nandi, and that took too long. So we thought, or I thought, we should take a place closer to the airport. That was how and why we acquired this land. A few weeks ago, I got a request from the CEO and his board that there was a master plan for the development of this site as part of the major development of Nandi International Airport. As we celebrate this event today, we also acknowledge the traditional owners of the land. The past chiefs, the present chiefs, and emerging chiefs, and we acknowledge their role in looking after the land upon which not only Nandi Airport is built, but upon which Fiji is built. The whole of this week we were listening to honorable members of Parliament in their contributions on the debate and the motion to thank His Excellency the President for his most gracious address at the opening of Parliament 2 Mondays ago. We acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that Parliament House and government building sits on. We do that all the time, and it is a great opportunity for us to acknowledge the traditional owners of these islands and the lands upon which we perform our various functions during the day, during the weeks, during the month, and during the year. Last night I was telling a story to my small security group. They are fasting, they cannot drink yangwana. The Commissioner of Police had asked them to all cooperate with the police operations against drugs and HIV, etc., and crime. So I had to drink all the yangwana. And I told them a story about the hunt for the weapons after 1987. I told them the full story. If you want to read that full story, look at page 40 in today's Fiji Times. Dr. Atman had sent in that story some time ago. I didn't know it was going to be in the paper today. I didn't even know that anybody else knew that story. I was telling them last night and this morning, we read about it in the papers. The Taltal acknowledged that we only met in Andera a few months ago when he was Taltala there. Now he is here. And now we're here to celebrate or commemorate or thank all those in the interim years between 1987 and now have played important roles in the transfer, the use, and now the transfer back of this land, commonly and affectionately known as NASA. My younger sister taught for a long time at Fiji Airports School, many years, and she knows this area very well. But today we are here to hand over this piece of territory back to the authorities that were initially handed these for the use of the government of Fiji. While telling the story last night, I remembered that while we were looking for weapons that were supposed to have come through the various international ports to get to Fiji, I remember that one of my colonels called me to say, sir, do you have any yangwana there? I said, come up. So he came up. At that time, we were allowed to drink yangwana in the office. So I had in my own conference room, small tanwa. He came to say that a relative of his knows where the weapons are, or were at the time. So I invited him up to camp, and he brought a young Indo-Fijian girl. And I was told that this young Indo-Fijian girl knew where the weapons were hidden. She gave us the whole story of the logistics of the weapons, where they were purchased, how they were transported internationally, how they got to Fiji, and how they were cleared at the port in Fiji, and how they ended up where they were hidden. We all listened very intently. And the Army intelligence officers, headed by the late Samu Somatua, debriefed this young lady, or cross-examined her statement, on her statement. And at the end of it, they realized I hadn't asked any questions. They said, so you haven't asked any questions? Oh, sorry, okay. Where are you from? I'm from Fiji. Where have you come from? I come from Coral. Oh, that's why you come with this, with the red towel. She was coming with roti rao. And we're sitting on ground. The original Yawu of the people now living Tabua and Kor. This old man brought this young lady to tell me about this. So I said, oh, so you come from Kor? Yes. Where were you before this? I was in Australia. All right. Before that, I was in Tibet. We have a place in Tibet. What did you do in Tibet? Oh, our family are goat farmers. We rear goats. Okay, that's it. What sort of questions are those? Well, if you had been alert, you would have read her story in the Sydney Morning Herald. The whole story of how the weapons got to Fiji has been published by the Sydney Morning Herald. And this young lady had lived in Sydney until about 4 weeks before she came to camp to give us that story. And before that, she was looking after goats. So she knew every cave in the Samberto area. And that's where Colonel Randalo and his team came out to look for the weapons and found them. So, very interesting story. But today we're here to hand back this piece of land which we have used, which the government has used for the military, and the military has opened for public use at certain times, and we are most grateful for the traditional owners who handed over these pieces of land, this terrain, for the use of Fiji as a colony during the war, to be the site of an Air Force base, and then became a civilian Air Force base for international travel. Now we're here to hand this land back to the airport, Fiji Airports Limited. We trust that it will be well utilized from here on, like it has been very well utilized in the past 38 years. I'm glad to have been part of that history, of this compulsory acquisition of the land in 1987 or after 1987. Now, so many years later, 38 years later, we're handing back this piece of terrain back to the original users, the airport, Fiji Airports Limited. We wish them well. We wish them every success. And we are all looking forward to the master plan, development master plan, and the completion of the building of that plan, so that we once again become the focus of international travel between East and West, international air travel between East and West, as we lie astride the 180th meridian, where one step puts you either east or west of meridian. So congratulations to all those involved. We wish the original users now back to permanent users all the best, and every success to Fiji Airports Limited. Ini nama ramana itu kena na boleh na di marwe, na boleh na di rawa, tatala, na boleh wasagi. Hello, Mark, thank you for writing that gospel that was used this morning. So, congratulations. God bless you all. Na boleh.